believe we peaked in the 90s. Come on, come on, come on, prove me wrong. Tuck your friendship bracelet back in your shell suit sleeve. Come on back in time with me.
Fiddle again, and hello, it's Vo, and welcome back to Project Zomboid. He's woken up early, and it's raining. Best opportunity for a bit of reading. Doesn't have much of the book left to go, so he's done that by 8 o'clock. But we definitely do have other books we can be getting on with. Read the last metalworking book. Yeah, we're on the way to getting our skills maxed out for carpentry and metalworking. Certainly got the opportunity to get the XP working on the base. Done pretty well to get our extensions finished. We've made loads of rain collectors. It should be filling up nicely. That should really get us enough water to last us. Our poor plants in our garden as well will appreciate getting some actual rain. Hopefully now we won't need to worry about watering the plants. It should rain regularly enough. So we're going all out in a salad. Again, trying to use up our stale ingredients before they get properly rotten. Fill it with as much stuff as we can. Yeah, the rain's still going at 11. He's reading to pass the time, but he's getting bored. Could go outside and sit on the roof in the rain, so lose the boredom. Then potentially you're going to get soaked through. We do have some bath towels that we can use to dry ourselves off. But we don't want to run the risk of catching a cold. And keep them in as good health as we can. It's a shame you can't wean yourself off the ciggies over time. That doesn't seem to be a thing. Other than that, we'll try and keep them healthy. Again, we'll try and go through these stale ingredients and keep an eye on our weight. Make sure we don't put on so much weight we become obese. Whilst trying to munch as much of this as possible. Almost got too much food. That's what we get for being food focused in the first part of the playthrough. That was the priority, really, although we were doing everything all at once. We can have more freezers and put everything in freezers, but then that puts more strain on our generator because we're using more power. And that in turn means that we can't go as far afield before the generator is going to run out of juice. There's always factors to keep in mind. Gonna get back to some actual raiding. Find some of the houses that we haven't yet finished looting. We made our mad dash for the kitchens of the last big houses. Yeah, we've still got a couple to clear out before we start moving to properties on the edge of the area. We think about moving further afield. Still got the country club to get through. That's a large area. Several buildings. plenty of zomboids about. Yeah, while we're still in civilization, the main part of the town, make sure to get all the stuff, all the loot that we want, any decent furniture, window furnishings, windows themselves, materials for making new doors. Yeah, we just want to keep adding to the base as we go through, expanding it, separating out all our treasures. Making sure we don't get snuck up on. Yeah, I think we've got enough kitchen utensils and gear. It's more the counters we're after. And the corner ones are more precious, so there's fewer of them. Thankfully our carpentry level is high enough now that we're pretty successful in picking things up without breaking them. Yeah, making sure I get all these lights as well as the televisions and radios and things. It's definitely a boost for the electronics. Yeah, we got the jump on this one. They didn't get the jump on us. Yeah, they'd given up, waiting to pounce on someone, and turned their back. Big a fool them. We're picking up media still. I just always pick up the CDs and then see if they're duplicate back at base. I've maybe listened to a CD once or twice. It's not something that I often use, but it's good to pick them up. Get as many of them as you can. Yeah, you don't need to pick up absolutely everything. You find out over time which things are useful. Depending on your playstyle, you'll probably never use certain items. Yeah, over time, you figure things out. Realize that picking up absolutely everything is a bad idea. You get overloaded far too quick. You can make like noise makers and things to try and distract the zombies if you want a more stealthy playstyle that you're trying to sneak around them, distract them, get in and out of places without having to fight them all. Whereas I prefer to just go in, systematically get them all, so that they're never a threat. All the scrap electronics and stuff you only use for generators, but there are other things you can craft if you want that more a different kind of playstyle, or employ different tactics. It's much like using fire. You can make Molotov cocktails and set a bunch of them on fire, make them wander around in circles, setting fire to each other, but the fire spreads and goes everywhere. You can't really control it. You need a lot of fire extinguishers to sort out the fire after it had been on the go long enough to dispatch a bunch of zombies. It would be hard to rein it in at that point. If you tried to do it in the rain so it would eventually put the fire out, it would probably put the zombies on fire out as well. That's not something that I do. It's just a little bit too unpredictable. Not for me. But again, you can do that. There's many different ways you can play the game. It's fairly open-ended, that you can give yourself objectives, Whether you're trying to survive a certain amount of days' time, or whether you're trying to kill a certain number of zombies or clear out a certain area. Yeah, it would have to be a very long playthrough if you were trying to cover the entire map. It's absolutely huge. It's only getting bigger that they're adding things. The next build has 3 new towns just as big as Riverside. So there's a lot of area to try and cover. I think you need very long days if you're trying to venture out that far. You'd be somewhat nomadic. You'd have to take most of the food with you from town to town. Yeah, it would probably take several in-game years to cover the entire thing. So yeah, just mastering Riverside was good enough for me. And the next update of the game, they'll change parts of it. I'll need to relearn everything all over again. But it's just that kind of addictive game. Even if you've been playing for ages with a character, they've been through hell and back, and then they perish. You don't take long to mourn them before you just restart right back into a new game. Pop down the standing sink, nice and easy, for another rain collector. Before we pop down some more corner cabinets. Pop in the windows and window coverings where we've got space for them. Barbecue out here, our little open area where we're letting the fumes escape from the generator. Yeah, we've got nice little areas to the base now. It's getting more character as we go on. Popping in our furniture, more sinks for more rain collector barrels. Oh, we're starting to get rotten things. Things that we've missed that we can put in our little composter. And hopefully that can help us out, give us fertilizer for our garden, which needs a bit of tidying up. Any of these tufts of grass that are growing through, or any bushes that are growing, make sure to clear them. Yeah, I'm sure our crops will appreciate getting the rain. One thing that we don't need to worry about, having to water them. Got enough chocolate to keep our mouse traps going. I'll have to go and check our other traps. Leave them too long with animals in them and they can break the trap. Just go and find remnants of the component materials for making the trap again. We've got these rain collectors in the little fishing shack, the bait shop. Don't want to just pour the water on the ground. I want to conserve as much things as possible, really. Our extra couple of rain collectors. plumb in our new sinks. Got the materials from disassembling things in the bait shop to make another. So he reads his book until 10 in the safety of his little bedroom. His box in a box in a box. Wait till 10 to sleep so we don't wake up too early. He wakes up too early anyway. Yeah, 4 o'clock, another rainy day. Yeah, another opportunity to mess around and do things indoors before going out adventuring. Reads his book for a couple of hours. We're having a ciggy break. Rain seems to be dying down. Plumbs in the sink he forgot about the day before. And he's back on the salads. Trying not to let anything else go rotten. Try and use up some of the condiments as well, that'll go. Yeah, it helps with the unhappiness. When you're adding in fun things like mayonnaise or cheese or hot sauce or whatever. Can take away some of the grimness of the meal that you're making. It's all cooking XP, not as much as you would get if you were cooking it up in stews or soups or whatever, but still some. Thankfully the weight's going down. We ideally want to sit around about 80, sort of in the middle between being underweight and overweight, just right. Have a read, watch Carzone VHS. Get some XP, hopefully get another level of mechanics. Disassembling and reassembling cars for the XP is boring. Yeah, these guys are really funny. Yeah, Ramos is definitely like the dumb one. Thankfully, having the settings so that the cars are average condition rather than everything being run down from the beginning, and having the ability to hotwire the cars means that you can just sort of replace the cars. There's a working one, a passable vehicle not far away. If you get stranded because one conks out on him, you know. Got plenty of decent condition vehicles that we've managed to retrieve back to the base. There are still plenty kicking about. Yeah, rainy days, reading books, watching VHS. That's what it would be like if you didn't know what was going on. You were all alone in the apocalypse. I'm sure you would just try to ride it out wherever you were until the undead came a-knocking and you realised you were going to have to fight off armies of undead and be an awesome hero survivor dude. Yeah, there would be a lot of well, what DVDs have we got? We've got to entertain ourselves. Yeah, back in the day, before the amazing DVD, VHS was king. Golden time, where you'd be annoyed that someone hadn't rewound the DVD, the VHS after they'd watched it, and now you had to sit and wait for 2 or 3 minutes to rewind the tape before you got to watch the film. So we're gonna watch through the exposure survivals, try and get a little bit of extra XP. They're not in the same order as they were broadcast, like the episode numbers, so it's hard to tell which one is which. You've got to sort of be read up on everything so you can maximise your XP gains for the different subjects that it teaches, if you're going to just blindly watch them all. But yeah, every little helps when it comes to XP. Kind of want to wait until we're bored as well, so we can get that debuff rather than just watching them all back to back and then being bored a couple hours later. Yeah, putting the condiments in our salad helps a little bit, but not enough. Grim weather continues, but we're almost finished our book. We'll get another exposure survival in us. Yeah, Carpentry XP, a little bit. It's teaching us how to build a fire, like a crafting recipe. Building the campfire. It's not something that I've ever done. If you were stuck outside and it was getting cold, you could use a campfire, sit next to it and warm yourself. You can also use it for cooking food, and I think you can use it for dispatching dead bodies. You put the zombies on the fire, then they'll turn to ash without the fire spreading everywhere. Yeah, not something I've done. I really haven't messed with fire at all. Don't want to risk my fabulous structures. I'm all about the building. Fire's a little too risky for my liking for that. So we're looking at our options of what book we want to read next. We're fairly well read. Not that interested in first aid yet. Shouldn't need it if we're not making silly moves. And the lower your first aid skill XP is, you know, the better you've done. And cooking, we're going to be doing cooking so much, you know. Could get a boost to it, but it's not really necessary. I'm sure we'll just get there anyway. Just in the course of things. Again, we'll get a little bit of carpentry. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get to carpentry first. To the end of the skill. Get it maxed out. Looks like metalwork will be second. Sure, we'll get there if we keep persisting with our disassembly. Getting our materials, taking them back to base and using them to fortify ourselves. Okay, and just got to keep going through the buildings systematically. Getting any good loot. Disassembling things. Gonna get a little bit of furniture for our little bedroom. It's a little bit bare with just the bed in the little box. Can relax a little bit, enough to have some nice things. Have it be a little homely. But not relax enough that he takes his eye off the prize. Get snuck up on. Complacency is a killer. Yeah, we make our trips to and from our trailer, our truck. Get all the decent loot, non-perishable food, materials, tools, furniture. Yeah, we can put some more shelves in our kitchen, I'm sure. More room for odds and sods. Get some tea bags and things. Coffee, and get all them separated out. It's all living in one drawer. The ciggies and the lighters and things. Yeah, it's good to have enough containers that you can properly separate out all the loot that you're gathering. You know where to go to get the materials when you need them. Neat and organised and safe from attack. It's good we've got options coming up because we've got materials. More trapping knowledge. We can make new kinds of traps. I'm just doing that now rather than carrying heaps and heaps of planks around. Make a couple of trap boxes. In theory, weigh a bit less than the planks used to create them. As we're getting through our food, we'll want more in the long term. Get some more trapping XP, as well as some meat for the freezer. Again, get our disassembly on. Get our metal sheets and our planks and stuff. All good materials going back to base. We get aluminum a lot from disassembling things. We really don't need any more of that. Yeah, you can make a little tinfoil hat, it's fun, but not much use. Probably can use it for some sort of crafting, but I never seem to use it. I just end up with heaps and heaps of it. Same like scrap metal and things, I'm sure you can use it for things. Yeah, I never really got that far into the crafting. Sure, there's loads of things that I could do that I've never done that I would probably enjoy and find useful. That's one of the things that makes it an awesome game, you know. I feel like you're discovering secrets sometimes. It's a good community on YouTube of people who play the game, sharing knowledge. Learn a lot from watching other people play, even if you're not gonna play in the same way or do the same things. It's just good to get the knowledge. Yeah, there's lots of possibilities and lots of ways you could build a base or navigate some zombies or take on a certain situation. People do it in lots of different ways and use different materials and different crafts and things. There's also a healthy amount of mods that people use. Change up the gameplay, make it more immersive or more interesting or more challenging. It's challenging enough. But yeah, some people like to make it more challenging. So yeah, near perfect game. Good community. What more can you ask for? An immersive experience. Of being in the apocalypse. There's real jeopardy. If you get bitten, that's it. It's all over. You got to start all over again. You can start as a new character and go and try and reclaim the base, but you're never going to be able to reclaim the experience. So you're going to have to start all over anyway, in terms of getting your experience up. Yeah, I always just start entirely again. Whole new character. Just go again, right from the start. Yeah, it's amazing the enthusiasm you do it with, like, oh well, I perished. Back to the beginning we go. Not once do you curse the game, you know. You always think, oh yeah, that was my fault, you know, I could have done that better. I could have, if I was concentrating a little bit harder, I could have got out of that situation, or I was foolish to get into that situation in the first place, you know, I could have avoided that, I could have done X, Y, and Z differently, you know. Yeah, you're never cursing the game and thinking, I'm not playing that ever again, you know. Not once comes out your mouth. Right back to the menu, start all over again. So he starts reading the first aid book. There's not that many options. He's got the exposure survival to give him some trapping XP. That pushes him over to the next level. Pretty close with the trapping that we've been doing. Likely didn't need that much to get up to the next level. As I say, every bit of XP helps. We'll take it. Definitely a good one. Managed to get all the way up to another level. Yeah, so in theory we should be able to make another kind of trap now. Yeah, there's different kinds of traps that are a bit more sturdy. As you level up, you can make other ones. I think like sort of metal, there's like a metal box one. It's probably the strongest one. You're probably locked behind a certain level of trapping. That one never seems to be broken. It's too strong for the animals to get back out of, so you can leave it for as long as you want. Yeah, you'll see with the wooden ones sometimes the animals will destroy them and you'll come back and just find scraps of wood and bits of twine or whatever. Yeah, the metal ones are a bit sturdier. Yeah, we can read the next trapping book instead. Better than pursuing first aid when we shouldn't really need it. well-timed exposure survival. Got just enough time for a triple day episode. We'll get him off to bed. Hope that he sleeps in longer than 4. Yeah, 6, that's what we're after. Doesn't seem to be pouring down with rain, which is a good sign. After wanting rain for so long. Yeah, I don't want it to rain all the time. Just enough to fill up all our rain collectors and water the plants. Does give us an opportunity to catch up on all our media, our skill books and our VHS and stuff. Yeah, we'll see if we can go out for an adventure after this. Get out for a bit. Do still have more places to go, zombies to kill, things to see, loot to snatch away. It's gonna be a fishing one, isn't it? A paperclip. Oh no, foraging. I will take that as well. Foraging is useful. We'll find better stuff the higher level we are. Yeah, higher levels you find sort of wild cabbages with seeds and stuff like that, useful things. Cooking pots and things, you know, useful objects and for survival and things that you should be collecting early on in the game. I've found boxes of ammo a couple of times, but never a weapon itself. Not a firearm anyway. Let's sort out our generator. Yeah, the condition of the generator is not going down more than a couple of % before we're coming back to top it back up again. Definitely run out of juice long before it would run out of condition. Presuming that the condition doesn't keep falling when it's not on. But yeah, there'd be only so far we could stray from the base before the gas would run out, because we're powering so many things in the base. It'd be good if we could get rid of the lights nearby. Could take a sledgehammer at them, but it doesn't seem to work. There's a couple of sort of street lights that we're powering off the generator that we don't really need. If we could eat enough food without putting more into the freezer. If we could get through the food and get down to sort of one ice freezer and just the fridge freezers that we've got, be a less of a drain. More Carpentry XP, it's telling us how to make rain collector barrels. Yep, we know. We're the king of rain collector barrels, don't you know? That's us up to level 9 on the Carpentry. Getting real close. Yeah, when we max out our Carpentry, I'll pop in a mod. Would like the ones we can sit down on the chairs and lay down in the bed. Better for immersion, so you're not just like sitting on the floor. Depends how much propane we've got. There's another mod that you can get propane from the gas pumps. So if I think that we might not make it to the end of metalworking, because we're going to run out of propane, so I might go for that one first. If we're going to make it to the end of metalworking, just the propane that we found, and we're going to find between now and then. And yeah, I think that'll be the first mod to get. True Actions one. Yeah, we're not far off it. Obviously the Carpentry, the highest level, the XP required is going to be a lot more than the one before it. You know, sort of exponential XP you need to get to level up. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get there with our disassembly and our base building. It certainly helps if we can find VHS that gives us skill, XP for nothing. Yeah, we'll take it for sure. And we can do some reading outside so we're not getting bored. Still need his ciggy breaks, but he won't be bored. Trying to eat some more of his stale burgers. Yeah, a bit grim. Makes him a little bit sad. Do some more carpentry. Safety fencing, escape ropes. Flooring that's actually roofing, so he doesn't fall through. We can sort out our traps. Add them in some fresh cabbages. Retrieve any rabbits and everything that we've caught. We can pop down our trap boxes. Yeah, we want to keep the trees around here, so it's still a vaguely wooded area. But we'll pop traps in these clearings, so it's easy for us to find and not get lost. Yeah, if you put your traps too far into the woods, sometimes you'll spend forever trying to find them again. Do a bit of foraging on the way back. Get some XP, as well as hopefully get some useful items, like the chipstones, so we can make some axes. That'll in turn help us chop down trees to get more planks. Gonna pop some of the twigs and things into our antique oven. We can pop some into our barbecue we've got set up outside as well. Managed to kill one zombie. That's progress. One still lurking around the gated community. We did have that one that we snuck up on before, I suppose. Yeah, it's a sign of our previous success. We've done so well, you know, we're suffering from success. We're not finding many zombies to kill. Again, gotta be cautious. Give a little bump on the door. Or give it a quick open close. Yeah, you don't want to get complacent. There could be like 4 or 5 zombies waiting behind any door at any time. Yeah, getting complacent, letting your guard down. That's what gets you killed. One of the things, among many. Yeah, it's a nightmare if you disassemble a TV and then go to open a door. You've still got your screwdriver in your hand from disassembling the TV. You haven't switched back to a decent weapon, and all of a sudden there's a zombie there. You panic a little bit. The zombie goes for you, and you try to whack it, but you've only got a little screwdriver and you're just sort of poking it wildly, and it takes about 10 jabs with the screwdriver to take it down. Yeah, terrifying. It's not ideal. Yeah, always make sure you've got a decent weapon and you're sort of aiming the right way towards the door. You can even sort of preemptively swing, that you open the door and immediately swing on the potential zombie that's in there, and if there isn't one there, oh well. Having an overabundance of caution is a good tactic in this game. Being slow and methodical and constantly watching your six. It pays off. You survive. Some great construction materials. Yeah, these garages have always got good things. Sure, we can go back and scour the warehouses again if we need to as well. If we're short of building materials. But yeah, we'll get all the stuff we need to keep expanding the base. Keep working on it. As long as he can survive. I think all the other areas on the outskirts of Riverside that aren't sort of in the main body, on the main map, the main Riverside map, would take us about as long as clearing out the innards of the Riverside map. So we do have a bit of leeway for timing to get everything explored, looted, raided, get all the zombies killed, cover the area we want to cover. Yeah, we should still have spare time to work on some skills. Have a few rainy days where we just chill and not do very much. And enough time to build an awesome base. Yeah, we should be fine. No stressing, no rushing, no time pressure. That's what having the 6-hour days is for. So you can relax a little bit into it. A little more time for role playing, reflection, and doing things that you want to do, rather than being forced to do things in a way by the time crunch. Having your priorities set for you. It's not as enjoyable, obviously. Yeah, once you've got loads of food, or you've got like a food supply set up pretty well, that you're getting a constant supply, whether it's farming or trapping or fishing or whatever, and you've got your generator set up, and once the power's gone off, the water's gone off, you're on your own, but you've got everything set up that you should be fine indefinitely, So you're going to have to choose your own adventure at that point. But you don't want to be spending all that time, like 50 days in game or 50 hours or whatever, getting everything set up on this mad time crunch where everything's against you constantly. It's pretty oppressive. So give yourself a little bit more time. You can take away one of the pressures. Stress and pressure from many angles. Don't have to make it so hard on yourself. You can balance it in whichever way you want. Especially with the sandbox settings, you can really fine-tune things. If you feel yourself you're making it too easy on yourself, you can make it a little bit harder, or make it a little bit easier, or if there's something you don't like about the game, or you think it's mistimed or unrealistic, you can probably change it, or reduce it, or make it a bit better for yourself. As I say, they're forever working on it and making it better. It's forever being balanced. Add new features and things. Yeah, I get the feeling like you should be able to cook the ham, but just sort of unfreeze it and warm it up. It doesn't cook per se. More stale slices. Making us bored, but not sad. Yeah, the arrangement of that two water collectors, you think you should be able to walk through between the two of them, and you can't. Got in my way many, many, many times. Yeah, many times I try to walk through that gap, and you can't. You've got to go around. Yeah, it's hard to envisage exactly where your water collectors are going to end up when you're just popping in the sinks. So we're going to put windows in. We're going to open the windows. Helps with airflow, I imagine. But it's more that if a zombie does appear, they don't break my precious window and they just go straight through. Yeah, we can have them in the garden, that's fine. Probably try to find the generator if they end up in there. Get more of our base built. See where we can walk, where we can't walk. Which things we still need to fill in. These red squares. Still need to pop down floor in there. So that we don't just fall through. Can hear there's another zombie in here somewhere. Thankfully there's a machete. There they are. There's two. Ah, they've got decent weapons though. Yeah, it's definitely rewarding when you're battling zombies. When you find that there was weapons nearby. It's more worth it. No good when you battle a bunch of zombies and find that they were protecting nothing. Or you find one of the boarded up houses, the survivor homes, and it's got hardly anything in it. That's disappointing because you often have a fight there. Having to break your way into there quite forcibly. Having to fight off an undead that are invariably inside. And sometimes, yeah, the loot is a little lackluster. That's it, it's the apocalypse. You can't always get what you want. You got to take what you got. You got to eat stale ham slices sometimes. That's just the way it is in the apocalypse. It's only a small level of luxury that you can hope to expect. Yeah, getting to sit on the seats. That's a small luxury that we should expect. Precious counters, so we can make more sinks for more rain collectors. Gonna have so much water, never gonna be thirsty ever again. I think when it gets to winter and it starts snowing, it doesn't count as water for some reason. Need a mod for that, so that your collector barrels are still filling up with the snow coming down. We could, in theory, find loads of containers to unload the water through the sinks from the rain collector barrels into smaller containers and then stash them in cupboards or something, so to let the rain collector barrels fill up again. But I don't think times are going to be that desperate in between rain. I don't know how many rain collector barrels it would need to make sure you've definitely got enough water to see you through a dry spell. I'm sure we've probably got twice as much already. Working our way around. Methodically get through all these houses before moving further afield. All the stuff we want. So I'm pretty sure we're on course. Objectives done. Just need to survive and not get attacked. Not get injured again by zombies. These houses are nice. Places to live in the long term if you're not going to base up in a more interesting location. A nice size with a nice availability of cupboard space and things. I've done a couple of runs where I used the homes. Not today, sucker. Yeah, you can easily move the furniture, like these big wardrobes and things, from all of the other homes into one of them, you know. It's good storage for the upstairs rooms and things. There's island counters that you can put in the middle of one of the kitchens if you want more kitchen cupboard space and things. As well as all those shelves that you can pop up. Yeah, if you just want to make a really cool house, then these make a good starting place to go, to expand out. There's lots of surplus furniture that you don't really need, just for decoration. Yeah, it's a fun. If you enjoy playing The Sims, you know, you can have fun making a cool base or a cool house or whatever. He's getting towards the end of another day, another episode. Base is looking lovely. We'll come back next time, pick up where we left off from. Until then, do take it easy. I'll see you all in the next one.